Camping. Some men just want to watch the world burn. The purpose of this guide is to help you identify the right style of camping for you or your group, to help you equip yourself for your style of camping, give you the tools to find and choose your best location. This guide will not teach you the right spots, it will teach you how to find the right spots. But most importantly, the purpose of this guide is to bring pain and suffering into the world of Tarkov. There are three types of camping. There is exit camping, there is spot camping, and there is sniping. Exit camping has the pros and cons that you would most expect. Pros, quick escape, because you're usually right next to the extract, unless you decided to start near the extract that you spawned at, in which case you're going to have a very slow escape but an easy setup. People are usually full on loot by the time they come to you because they're getting ready to get out. It brings a special kind of hatred into the world. Cons is you may need to cross the map to set up, which, let's face it, we're trying to avoid that kind of thing in the first place. People are usually on edge and expecting when they're near the extracts, and hard to find spots. It is hard to find spots that don't get checked. Spot camping. Pros is you can set up almost anywhere. It can be really quick to get in a position. It is expected, at least because you can't expect every single corner to be camped, or you'll just never travel through the map. It can be used to secure an area for looting. So if you're trying to, say, lock down an entire area so you can go and loot the whole thing, you can spot camp it to make sure it's safe first. The cons is some areas inconsistently get hit, so people may come, they may not. You might end up staying in a spot without getting anybody to come the entire raid. New areas mean new ways to be found out. So if you're trying an area for the first time, you're likely going to you may get spotted from an area that you haven't really considered. Loot can be as random as the passers-by. You might get people to come by that have extremely heavy loot and super thick. You may get people to come by that have nothing on them. Sniping. Pros is you can cover the most ground with it. You can cross cover and triangulate if you have a team. You're least likely to have fire return, because not everybody has the range that you're going to have when you're sniping. The cons, however, is you are the most visible, because if you can see the most areas, that means you can be seen from the most areas. The shots are harder because you're talking about 100 to 250, maybe even more meter shots. Missing a shot can get you killed, because once you shoot, your position has been given away, and you are extremely vulnerable when you're camping because you're not moving. A still target is a really easy target. All you gotta do is get spotted and you'll die. So when you're picking your location, you want to think about the path or route that you would take and cover that. You want to try to ideally put your victims in a kill box, an area that they feel compelled to run through, because while they're running, they're not able to quickly get behind cover. You want to go into offline mode whenever you can and take your normal loot patterns, right? Go through the map the way that you normally would, but go slowly, so you can identify some of the strange or deadly camping spots that have potential for high traffic or for them thick boys to come by. When you're picking your position within your location, try to go wherever you have to do a bit of climbing or jumping in order to reach it. If you have to suffer a fracture to get into position, it's probably a good spot, because people are definitely not going to be looking from where somebody has to jump off of a building in order to get there. If you need to have grenade cover, put yourself up right next to like a box or a downed locker or a chair or something that can block grenades if they're being chucked at you. Avoid the obvious spots. If it looks like the perfect spot for camping, it's probably occurred to the potential victims as well. Hide in plain sight. Some of the least obvious spots are the most visible, because nobody's going to expect you to be standing on the edge of a ledge where it's just wide out in the open. They can be very dangerous because, again, they are very visible. Equipment. Always use the GSSH01 headphones, also known as the ear bleeders, because they amplify everything like crazy, including the enemy. But if you're camping, you're not moving, so you don't have to worry about your sounds being amplified through your own head. Try to take cost-effective gun, ammo, and think about where you might be setting it up and what body parts will be the most visible. If you're going to be seeing mostly legs and feet, there's no sense in taking high pen rounds. You may as well go for high flash damage. Make your gun look cheap if you want a high chance of getting it back, because you will get spotted. And again, if you do get spotted, you're laying perfectly still, you're sitting perfectly still, you're standing perfectly still, you're going to die really easily. So if your gun looks super cheap, they'll probably just leave it. When you're sniping, you may want to pack your scope or suppressor into your gamma as you're getting into position, and then once you're in position, you can go ahead and you can reattach those, so that way you just risk less. Always bring milk or rat cola to cover your food and water for long raids, because it'll fit right nicely in your gamma, and it usually gives you just that extra that you need to make it the rest of the way. As far as team strategy goes, do not all lay side by side. Okay, because you don't want one of you to get spotted and then it wipes the whole team. The benefit of having team is that you can cover each other's bodies. Hold different angles. When you are holding a position, let your teammates cover you. They'll get somebody that's coming to you if they're good. Trust your teammates to get the kills that come to them. Don't stand up and put yourself, start making noise, so you can go for a kill that your teammate is already lined up to get. General camping principles. Absolute silence is paramount. You can tilt without making noise, and you can turn while you're prone without making noise, at least for now. Whenever possible, ADS before your victim comes in your line of sight, but only if you can do it before they are within hearing distance, because if they hear you, the jig is up. You've just wasted all of the time. But whenever you're already ADS, that gives you the edge. If we did it your way, Chad, you'd win. We're not doing it your way.